Mastering Yu-Gi-Oh! Aggro Decks, History, Analysis and Winning Strategies. Welcome to the ultimate guide to aggressive strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! From the early days of the trading card game to today's competitive scene, aggro decks have shaped the meta and delivered some of the most thrilling victories. This presentation explores the evolution, key archetypes, and winning strategies that define aggressive playstyles. Chapter 1. The Origins of Aggro in Yu-Gi-Oh! Embark on a journey through time as we unravel the origin and birth and power of aggressive strategies in Yu-Gi-Oh! This chapter delves into the pivotal moments that forged the aggro playstyle, exploring its evolution from nascent tactics to dominant forces. Nascent tactics are beginning stage tactics that are being tested and experimented with and are being developed as a strategy. Discover the breakthrough archetypes that redefined the competitive landscape and laid the groundwork for today's high-octane duels. From the raw power of the game's earliest aggressive monsters to the sophisticated combo aggro hybrids that emerged in later formats, we trace the relentless evolution of decks designed to overwhelm opponents with speed and ferocity. What is an aggro deck in Yu-Gi-Oh? Speed and aggression. Aggro decks employ fast-paced, aggressive tactics designed to overwhelm opponents quickly, ending duels before they can establish defenses or execute complex strategies. Modified beatdown. These are enhanced beatdown decks incorporating control elements to maintain relentless pressure, combining raw attack power with strategic disruption. Quick execution. Focus on rapid summons and continuous attacks, striking repeatedly before opponents can stabilize their board position or deploy their win conditions. The fundamental philosophy of aggro is simple yet devastating. Establish board presence immediately, apply constant pressure, and close out the game before your opponent executes their strategy. Unlike control or combo decks that play the long game, aggro decks thrive on tempo and early dominance. Early aggro icons: Kaiser, Vorce, Raider and Cyber Dragon. Kaiser, Vorce, Raider. This classic aggressive monster established the archetype with strong base stats and effects that rewarded players for maintaining offensive pressure. Its straightforward design made it accessible while remaining competitive. Note: high attack power for minimal tribute cost. Note: synergy with warrior support cards. Note: foundation for aggressive monster lineups. Cyber Dragon revolutionized swarming strategies with its special summon condition and quick fusion plays. Cyber Dragon could flood the field with powerful machines, creating overwhelming board states. Note: free special summon from hand when opponent controls monsters. Note: instant fusion access to powerful extra deck monsters. Note: multi-attack potential through field flooding. These pioneering cards established fundamental principles that aggressive decks still follow today: efficient resource usage, rapid deployment, and overwhelming attack potential. They proved that speed could triumph over elaborate strategies. The birth of the aggression strategy. These pioneering aggressive strategies weren't just fleeting trends, they forged the very bedrock of modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Competitive play. By championing tempo control and establishing early board presence, they laid down core principles that continue to define the most formidable aggro decks even today, shaping the relentless pace and strategic depth of countless duels to come. This aggressive template fundamentally altered deck-building philosophy, proving that decisive early game pressure and meticulous tempo control were not merely options, but essential competitive concepts. The legacy of these cards continues to resonate, demanding a dynamic and forward-thinking approach to every duel. Chapter 2. Evolution and Key Archetypes. From the raw power of simple beatdown to the intricate dance of sophisticated archetypes, aggression in Yu-Gi-Oh! Has undergone a relentless metamorphosis. This chapter delves into the pivotal eras that birthed groundbreaking innovations and competitive breakthroughs, showcasing how each new generation of duelists refined the art of the swift, decisive victory. We will examine the key turning points where aggro strategies transcended their initial brute force, evolving to incorporate intricate synergy engines, dedicated archetype support, and even hybrid control elements. These innovations forged more nuanced and adaptive aggressive approaches, forever changing the landscape of high-stakes dueling. Blue Eyes Aggro, Shining Victories Breakthrough. The release of Shining Victories marked a transformative moment for the Blue Eyes archetype, elevating it from a nostalgic favorite to a competitive aggro powerhouse. This set introduced support cards that enabled unprecedented first-turn plays, allowing duelists to establish dominant board states immediately. Multiple powerful summons during the first turn. Post-Shining Victories Blue Eyes decks could consistently summon multiple high-attack monsters on the first turn, creating overwhelming pressure that opponents struggled to overcome. Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. These monsters provided instant board dominance with massive attack power, turning Blue Eyes White Dragon decks into legitimate competitive threats. Quick summon combos with high attack beaters. Aggro decks began incorporating efficient summoning chains that placed multiple 3000+ ATK monsters on the field, fundamentally changing how aggressive strategies operated. Warrior Swarm Aggro, the Vorces and Command Knight. The core strategy. Warrior-based aggro decks utilized swarm tactics to multiply attacks rapidly, creating situations where opponents faced lethal damage from multiple sources simultaneously. This archetype demonstrated that quantity could rival quality when executed properly. Note: the Vorces swarm the field to enable continuous pressure. Note: Marauding Captain combo. Special summon Command Knight for instant duel presence. Note: Burden of the Mighty. Systematically weaken opponent monsters while maintaining your advantage. Note: Royal Decree. Shut down trap cards to prevent defensive counterplay. The genius of Warrior Swarm lay in its consistency. Unlike decks relying on specific card combinations, Warrior support ensured reliable access to swarming capabilities, making it a stable aggro choice across various formats. Aggro's Toolbox. Control meets speed. The evolution of aggro strategies introduced a sophisticated balance between offensive momentum and strategic disruption. Modern aggressive decks aren't just about attacking, they're about controlling the pace of the duel while maintaining pressure. Negation and disruption. Cards like Royal Oppression negate special summons, disrupting opponent combos while your board remains established. This prevents opponents from mounting effective counterattacks. Defensive spells. Shrink and Mirror Force protect aggressive monsters during vulnerable moments, ensuring your attackers survive to strike again. These cards extend your board presence. Dual-purpose threats. Keys the Shadow Monarch banishes a card and Karaz the Light Monarch destroy up to 2 opponent cards upon summon, balancing offensive stats with removal capabilities for versatile plays. Key insight: the best aggro decks don't just hit hard, they prevent opponents from hitting back. Strategic disruption is what separates good aggro players from great ones. Chapter 3. Playing and Mastering Aggro Decks Today. Now that we've covered the theoretical foundations of aggro strategies, this chapter transitions to practical application. We'll explore modern competitive techniques, dissect current meta-relevant aggro decks, and provide actionable strategies to help you dominate your duels in today's evolving game. This chapter will bridge the gap between understanding aggro theory and executing it flawlessly in real tournament scenarios. We'll delve into critical aspects like effective sideboard strategies, the art of reading opponent tells, and adapting your game plan mid-duel to maintain your aggressive advantage and secure victory. Tenpai Dragons, the modern aggro barrage. Emerging as a dominant force in recent competitive play, the Tenpai Dragon archetype epitomizes modern aggro by combining rapid summoning with explosive battle phase capabilities. These fiery dragons are designed to overwhelm opponents with an onslaught of high-attack monsters, often leading to swift one-turn kills, OTKs, by exploiting their unique battle-focused effects. Tenpai Dragons are actually doing a lot in the metagame overseas, overtaking the supposed competition's popularity, from the OTK deck Gem Knights. You're supposed to memorize and practice with Tenpai Dragons, so that you understand the nuisances of what card you play, what card you set face down, what board breakers to use from your hand, what board breakers to put in your deck, what card do you play if the opponent impermanences your Dora Dora, what you search with your Tenpai Dragon Pedra, do you use Tenpai Dragon Genroku to send Tenpai Dragon Genroku to the graveyard, to bring out Tenpai Dragon Fadra, which special summons Tenpai Dragon Genroku, that you sent to graveyard, back to the field, to do synchro plays with. Gnarfard, explosive summons. Quickly flood the field with powerful dragon monsters, establishing a dominant board presence from the earliest turns of the duel. Multi-attack prowess. Leverage card effects that grant additional attacks per battle phase, ensuring maximum damage output and pressuring opponent life points. Battle phase power. Focus on activating effects during the battle phase to boost attack, negate defenses, and force through lethal damage against unprepared opponents. Gem Knights, the original aggro OTK machine. Before the rise of Tenpai Dragons, Gem Knights carved out their niche as a formidable aggro archetype, specializing in explosive one-turn kills, OTKs. This strategy relies heavily on their unique fusion summoning mechanics and resource loops, allowing them to quickly flood the field with high-attack monsters or inflict devastating burn damage, often ending duels before the opponent can mount a defense. Continuous fusion power. Gem Knight fusion is the cornerstone, allowing for repeated fusion summons by recycling itself from the graveyard, creating an engine for relentless monster generation and field presence. Explosive damage output. Key monsters like Gem Knight Lady Lapis Lazuli inflict significant burn damage for every monster special summoned from the extra deck, while other high ATK fusions deliver decisive blows in the battle phase. Resource efficiency. The archetype excels at maintaining card advantage through effects that return materials to hand or deck, ensuring a steady stream of resources for continuous aggressive plays. Core strategy. Hit fast, hit hard, keep pressure. Establish early board dominance. Prioritize summoning low-cost, high-attack monsters immediately to seize tempo advantage. Control the pace from the first turn and never relinquish it. Optimize attack sequencing. Carefully sequence your attacks to maximize damage output before opponents establish defensive positions. Every point of damage matters in aggressive strategies. Maintain relentless momentum. Use removal and disruption spells strategically to clear blockers, negate threats, and maintain offensive pressure throughout the duel. Never give opponents breathing room. The philosophy behind successful aggro play is understanding that every turn represents a window of opportunity. Your goal isn't just dealing damage, it's controlling when and how your opponent can respond. By maintaining constant pressure, like with Fawalos, Max C, Purulia, Droll and Lockbird, you force suboptimal defensive plays and create openings for lethal attacks. Strengths and weaknesses. Strengths. Note: overwhelming early game damage that many decks cannot recover from. Note: simple, aggressive playstyle with clear win conditions and execution paths. Note: tempo advantage forces opponents into reactive positions. Note: psychological pressure from constant life point reduction. Note: speed advantage against slower combo and control strategies. Weaknesses. Note: vulnerable to board wipes like Dark Hole and Reijeki that repeat from scratch, the game state. Note: control deck struggles when opponents successfully stabilize their defenses. Note: resource depletion if the game extends beyond early turns. Note: limited recovery options once momentum is lost. Note: trap card exposure to mirror forces and dimensional prisons. Counterplay strategies. Smart aggro players mitigate weaknesses by holding back some resources instead of overcommitting, using protective cards strategically, and anticipating opponent trap cards before launching all-in attacks. The best aggressive duelists know when to push for advantage or game, and when to pause. Modern aggro tips for competitive play. Balance offense and protection. Find equilibrium between swarming the field and protecting your monsters. Overextending leaves you vulnerable to board wipes, while playing too conservatively sacrifices your tempo advantage. Include disruption tools. Modern aggro decks require disruption cards to prevent opponent combos and special summons. Cards like Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, and Hand Traps keep opponents off balance. Study the meta. Understand popular deck archetypes and their key plays. Knowing when opponents are vulnerable allows you to time your aggression for maximum impact and exploit weaknesses. Practice resource management. Track your card advantage and life point totals carefully. Sometimes accepting damage to preserve resources for a decisive counterattack is the optimal aggressive strategy. Strategic disruption. Creating and exploiting openings. Beyond raw aggression, mastering an aggro deck involves disrupting your opponent's plans to create temporary weaknesses and capitalize on their limited resources. This tactical approach ensures your offensive pushes are effective and unopposed. Targeted disruption. Utilize hand traps like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring or quick play spells to interrupt key combo pieces or essential summons during your opponent's turn. Timely intervention can cripple their setup and slow their tempo. Board containment. Deploy cards such as Fawalos or Purulia to restrict your opponent's ability to special summon monsters or activate crucial effects. This creates a limited board state that's easier for your aggro monsters to dismantle. Exploiting vulnerabilities. After successfully disrupting your opponent, identify the temporary openings created. Push for lethal damage by swarming the field with your high-attack monsters, securing the advantage before they can recover. Master the tempo, master the duel. Mastering tempo is the key differentiator between casual and competitive aggro players. Understanding precisely when to accelerate pressure and when to strategically hold back separates champions from the rest, turning potential defeats into decisive victories. This mastery involves a deep understanding of the duel's flow, recognizing critical decision points that can swing momentum, and possessing the confidence to execute bold plays precisely when the opportunity arises. It's about proactive control and reactive adaptation. Summary: your path to aggro mastery. Aggro decks represent one of Yu-Gi-Oh's most dynamic and rewarding playstyles. By understanding their history, evolution, and strategic depth, you position yourself to dominate competitive play through superior tempo control and relentless pressure. Historical foundation. Understand the evolution from Kaiser, Vorce, Raider, and Cyber Dragon through Blue Eyes and Warrior Swarm archetypes. This knowledge helps anticipate meta shifts and adapt strategies. Strategic deck building. Construct decks with optimal blends of speed, raw power, and disruption tools. Balance your monster lineup with protective spells and negation cards for comprehensive coverage. Execution excellence. Practice attack sequencing, resource management, and timing to maintain relentless pressure. Master the art of knowing when to push advantage and when to protect your board. Remember, aggro wins by ending the duel before your opponent can react. Be the storm they never see coming. Your speed, precision, and understanding of tempo are what transform good cards into championship-winning strategies.